right, it is Wednesday night. You guys know what that means. AEW Dynamite has come. It is gone. It is the first episode after a jam-packed Wrestle Dream weekend. And, boy, did they give us plenty to talk about tonight. But it's Jose Gonzalez here. It is JPJ joining you once again on the BODYSLAM.net. Cordarius Bennett in the chat on YouTube. Hello, JPJ. One hell of a weekend we had, huh?
Yeah. Wrestle Dream was quite excellent, I thought. Thought every match delivered. I thought it was a great show overall, and I thought tonight's Dynamite was a lot of fun. Yeah, some big stuff came out of it tonight. I think AEW, and they did two, really, really good shows. We expect the great shows when it comes to the pay-per-views, and Wrestle Dream delivered as we should expect. But I thought tonight was a really, really good follow-up to Wrestle Dream. I thought two really good nights for AEW.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And then coincidentally, it seems like whenever there's an AEW show on the same day as the Sabres game, they win. So I'm clearly very happy because they're few and far between so far. But nonetheless, I mean, just overall quick thoughts that you had about Wrestle Dream as a whole.
I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really great. I thought every match was really, really good. I loved the I Quit match at the end of the night. I thought it was excellent. I know it created quite discussion and all that stuff afterwards, but no, I thought it was really good. I loved the way that the pay-per-view started as well. I knew that had a lot of discussion as well. I thought it was a very smart and different thing to do. I had a great time with it. The arena was losing their minds. I thought from start to finish, it was a very strong pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, I honestly didn't expect them to have the tailgate brawl lead into the opening of the pay-per-views. So to see FTR and Jet Speed still going at it, Pyro's going off as they're going live on pay-per-view, that was a nice touch. But overall, just felt like match quality across the board was pretty good. Even things that were getting added late felt like it deserved to be on the card, and everything just feels like we're really setting up these pay-per-views for success, which I can appreciate just because not everything has to be just limited to 5 matches and like actually still giving things enough time. It was a lot of fun to catch up on that over the weekend, but we also, we kind of get straight into it tonight with Dynamite because, we have a little bit of an intro leading out of Wrestle Dream. We had Hangman Adam Page in his post-match interview in the back with the trainer after Samoa Joe had turned his back on him following the world title match at Wrestle Dream. He flat just says, "Joe, when I find you, I'm going to ruin your fucking life."
Sure did.
Pardon his French. Yep. Or don't.
No. Yeah, I was shocked by that. I thought, like everybody, I thought they were just going to have some sort of sign of respect, like usual, after that match at Wrestle Dream, and we would go on. But to see Joe, and not only Joe, but the whole group, Hobbs and especially Shibata, who's like quite the man of honor. To see that whole group do what they did to Hangman and kind of turn heel there, that kind of took me by surprise. So I'm intrigued. Obviously, we're going to continue with Joe and Hangman, but I think Hangman might have a problem with all three of those fellas by the time this happens. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I really didn't see the Ops turning heel at all, which is kind of ironic because when you had Hook coming back when they were still at the 2300 arena and everything, you had like the whole like, you guys just kind of left me out, replaced me immediately, all that stuff. But they put the kibosh on that and they moved on. They went their separate ways. And now seeing where the Ops are now, pretty much reinvigorated because now like they're being more true to their name as they get into in the post-match promo. But I thought this was a great way to start the show for the World Trios Championship. You had the Ops going against the Hurt Syndicate, who defeated the Demand in that Tornado Trios match on Saturday, which I did see that they're probably going to make it a number 1 contenders match. I called that in advance. I did not think that the Hurt Syndicate was going to win.
Me neither.
Although considering the way that things ended with this one, it shows that there's not really finality with what's going on between the Demand and the Hurt Syndicate. But, overall, I thought this was a good opener. JPJ, what say you?
I agree. I thought it was a good opener. I thought there was a chance that the Hurt Syndicate was going to win this tonight, to be honest with you. I thought
Honestly, I did too.
Yeah, I was like, I would not be shocked if the Hurt Syndicate did pull this out. But like you mentioned, it seems that we're going to be continuing with the Hurt Syndicate in the Demand. I figured that the match at Wrestle Dream would be the end of it. It was a good match at Wrestle Dream as well. I thought that was going to be the end of it, but I guess not, which again, at the end of the day, I don't dislike them continuing. It's been a good feud. It's just been I didn't think it needed to go any further, but good opening to the show. The ops just kind of turned, so I understand them retaining, obviously, right after the character change. You might not want to have them use the titles right after they kind of do what they did on Saturday. You want to make them look strong. So I understand them retaining, but I thought the Hurt Syndicate had a good chance tonight to win these.
No, I do too, and I like the way that the match was kind of layered because you kind of had your equivalent sides with matchups. Like you had Shelton, that was a good matchup against Shibata. You had Bobby Lashley, who was a good matchup against Hobbs. Then you had MVP, who was a good matchup against Samoa Joe. We got to see a lot of kind of like the filling out process. I love that Shelton calculated that Joe was going to go for the nope spot and landed on his feet. I thought that was a nice touch. I mean, really, it came down to, I think, just towards the end of the match, it felt like MVP was getting momentum. It looks like he's going to hit the playmaker right onto Samoa Joe, and then lo and fucking behold, none other than Ricochet getting on the apron, distracting MVP, and allows Joe to lock in the Coquina clutch one more time, gets MVP to tap out, and the ops retain.
Yep. I thought it was a good little finish with Ricochet, and it was just like, and then we saw afterwards the Hurt Syndicate didn't even look like they were really that upset that they lost the match. They just took a beeline straight to the top of the ramp to go after the demand. So, Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things you just shake it off and okay, now you're my problem again. So good fucking luck. But it does lead us to Tony Schiavone coming into the ring after the match, getting a word with Samoa Joe, just asking the $1 million question. Why? But before you even get to that, Samoa Joe's like, you know what? You want to know why I did the deed? He says, before he gets into that, he says, it's a pleasure to be in San Antonio tonight. Because when you have a man like Hobbs around, it's good to have big, fat San Antonio women around to keep him occupied.
You know the lore of the Charles Barkley,
Yeah, but
do you know? Okay, so I think that was that was clearly a reference to that comment, like that, right? That was all,
very much of that ilk, yes.
Yes.
And then, and onto the question of why. I mean, it's really simple, because I exist. As long as you're on planet Earth and you call yourself a champion, I'm coming to you. Call yourself the man, I'm waiting to show you that you're not. Much like these people say, Hangman, you may think it's just some cowboy shit, but rest assured, just like the crowd, I'll slap your cowboy ass and make you my bitch, just like every other sports team has been made a bitch in this town. And what stands before Hangman is the ops. They stand in opposition to everybody, and they ain't lacking.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good heel promo from Samoa Joe. I thought it was good. I'm all in on it. I want to see where they go with it. Just the three of those dudes destroying the roster, I'm not against.
So. Oh no, I'm not against it either. I just hope we get a little bit more depth to the trios division again.
Yes,
because it seems like you have the ops, you have the Death Riders, you have the Demand, and you have the Hurt Syndicate, and that's really it so far.
Yeah, it's true. So, we definitely need some more trios teams to be popping up. It feels like the conglomeration can throw themselves in there in multiple ways if they want. Yeah. But we definitely need more trios groups. It feels like
probably the Don Callis family in some form will also.
There's so many of them. You could probably get 2 trios teams out of them if you actually wanted to.
I mean, hell, depending on how the women's tag title tournament goes, you put Willow back with Jet Speed, you put Megan Bayne back with FTR.
I'm good with it. Hello? I would have no problem whatsoever if those titles were that kind of way. It didn't matter, like interject. I don't know what you would call it, but that would be awesome.
I mean, if they're already wrestling that way, I mean, that's just a formality. I mean, that same logic, whenever they roll back around, I could see like Christian Cage and then Beth and Adam Copeland all together holding trios gold too, if that's the route they want to go. But I mean, the possibilities are endless. And speaking of things that are endless, the endless brigade of championships that Mercedes Moné has been winning around the world. I mean, she did have a hell of a weekend though. So Friday night, she main events CMLL, defends the Women's World Championship there against Persephone in the main event at Arena Mexico. Immediately the next night, she issues that open challenge to any champion title for title with the TBS Championship, and she defeats Mina Shirakawa at Wrestle Dream for the interim Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship. Try saying that 5 times fast. Interesting, they're counting the interim title as part of this.
I was going to say
counting the Owen title as part of this. Too, why the hell not?
Yeah, it's true.
And then the Queen of Southside title's been unified with the Rev Pro title, so it's really just about the number of belts, not necessarily the number of sanctioned championships, which makes this even funnier because Mercedes is like, it's about the belts. So, And then it was immediately Sunday night. She goes to Winnipeg. She defeats Jody Threat for the WPW Women's Championship over there. We had a little bit of a AEW versus TNA, which I'm not mad at. But
No, not at all.
I will say, of all the people to be going on a run like this, I'm glad it's Mercedes, just because not only is it getting her like good heat from everybody because they're sick and tired of it, but character-wise, this is probably some of the best stuff I've seen her do in years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's always been one of the best in the world. I understand she's, a lot of people don't, respect her the way that they should. I don't understand that. You don't have to like her. You don't have to like everybody.
Exactly.
But the people that like say she's like not a like you're not being real. Like you're just not being real. It's totally okay if you do not like her, like as a whatever, that is totally okay. But the people that like, I just will die on that hill that she's like not good at this. It's just the dumbest shit. I can't. I don't know.
I mean, we could run down the list of names of current performers that became wrestlers because of her and Bailey at Takeover Brooklyn.
It's just ridiculous. I just can't understand it no matter what. But either way, yeah, she's perfect for this, and she is doing some of her best character work. And we'll talk about her segment a little bit later. But it was the best part of the show.
Oh, yeah, no, it's phenomenal, too. Also, Jeffrey Young in the Facebook chat. Hello. How you doing tonight? But speaking of that, I mean, we're not going to get into the segment yet, but we do have a little bit of a precursor because who did she interrupt at Wrestle Dream before her match? None other than the Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander, who's backstage with Renee Paquette. Talking about, Tony, if there was anybody to strip and beat down with her and kiss and make up, I'm glad it was with you. And then, of course, Renee asked, why did you call out Mercedes after her match on Saturday? And she says, well, I've beaten Toni Storm twice. Has she? I've captured the women's world title. Has she? I mean, we've gone on separate paths over the last few years. I'm not the same person that she's beaten before. So you know what? She issued the challenge for Full Gear, and it's accepted. So for the Women's World Championship, we have Monet versus Stat 3. I am excited. Right now, it's the only match officially announced for Full Gear. I would love this to main event Full Gear, if we're being honest. I feel like this is worthy of being the AEW's first women's main event, just considering how fucking good the last two times were on pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And considering the fact that I don't think Mercedes is going to win this one, that's going to be the slow burn of her losing her ever-living mind.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I think if there was ever going to be a time for one to main event, this would be the one. Yeah, I mean, I expect it to be as good, if not better, than the previous two. Obviously, Mercedes won both of those. I, like you, believe that this is the one Statlander will win and retain that belt. And I kind of thought the match at All In versus Tony was going to be the moment that the meltdown of Mercedes happened, but I do feel like her losing to Statlander will be the meltdown. It'll start and she'll one by one lose all these titles and lose her mind. And just, it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild ride, and it's going to be special. So,
oh, for sure. And then, I mean, we'll get into it later in the show, but there's going to be another interesting factor at play when it comes to that match. But immediately following that, we do see Darby Allin making his way out to the ring. He has his AEW flag that he took with him to Mount Everest, and he walked into and out of St. Louis with that flag, victorious in the I Quit match against Jon Moxley.
Did you know that he climbed Mount Everest? Did you know?
I thought it was just something that I saw in the Observer.
I heard he was going, but I couldn't tell. But they did.
Sometimes Dave just says shit and then people roll with it. I don't know. Something about a Guinness. I thought he was talking about. I thought he was talking about the stout, not like the world record book. But
they're really letting us know that he climbed Mount Everest alone. Well, I get it. I mean, listen, I would be bragging too.
I was going to say, you haven't bragged about the Patriots going 5-2 yet.
Listen. Hey, listen. I'm not. You're the only good team we've played. Now we beat you, but you're the only good team we've played. However, Drake May, fabulous. The last month he has looked fabulous. So I feel pretty good, but I'm not getting ahead of the horse. But we are going to make the playoffs and we are going to win a Super Bowl. So, but it is what it is. But
I got you on one of those fronts. You're probably going to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
As the wild card.
We'll see.
Yep, we'll see.
I think the AFC is, I don't think right now right now, I don't think, as much as it sucks to say, I think the Chiefs are you guys are still up there, but the Ravens, I just don't think there's a truly great team. I don't think there's a great team in the league, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of wide open. There's very good teams, but I don't think there's
been great moments, but I don't think there's
Yes.
just like a bygone favorite yet, which is
Yeah.
crazy to say.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what going into week 8?
Every team has flaws. I think every team has flaws that can be,
Every team has flaws, and then there's the New York Jets.
Oh man, are they going to win a game? You think?
I don't know what's going to happen first. The Jets win a game, or the Dolphins fire Mike McDaniel.
I don't know what they're waiting for.
I don't know what they're waiting for either.
What are you waiting for at this point? The team declared they don't want to play. I don't know what the hell Tua is talking about every week in his press conferences, but they are getting odder and just I have
Annie
no idea.
Ager's running out of material every Tuesday morning, guys. Come on, you got to do something.
Unbelievable. Anyway.
Oh, well, but yeah, that's enough football talk for the wrestling show. But we do get into a very short and sweet promo from Darby Allin, basically talking about, many people said I'd never be the face of this company because if I died, it'd be bad PR. But I'm willing to die for this place. I'm willing to take this company to new places. I was never going to say I quit on Saturday, but you know what? I'm wearing the scars. And he's not stupid. He knows the Death Riders aren't going away. So he tells Moxley that as long as the Death Riders are breathing, I'm not that far behind. So
I thought this was a fine promo. I mean, promos aren't really Darby's stronger suit, but I thought this was fine. It's clear that him and the Death Riders are not over. I thought this was fine.
I feel like this could have been a vignette, though, if we're being real.
That's fair. But however, I will say tonight, he got some massive pops. He got some of the loudest pops of the night. He did. So, and he even referenced it at the beginning of the promo saying, when I left, everyone was saying I was irresponsible and I should never be the face of the company. I think that was very much on purpose because I still think that they have plans for him to be world champion in the face of the company at some point. And if he's getting reactions like this, I mean, that's a top guy reaction right there. And he was gone for a long time, but that was one of the largest reactions of the night, him coming out. So
true. I'll give him that. I mean, also going into some of the vignettes that we saw post Wrestle Dream, we had Jurassic Express talking about, specifically you had Jack Perry mentioning, that was his first real competitive match since January with them defeating what they consider to be one of the greatest tag teams of all time. So, of course, everybody's wondering why now with the Jurassic Express, because they want to reclaim everything, even the things that people thought that were impossible to lose. They want to reclaim their reputation. They want to reclaim that feeling of what they love. Starting now, they're taking it all. And eventually that's going to include whoever has those AEW World Tag Team Championships. So, yeah. That sounds like, I'm thinking we're going to see Jurassic Express challenging for the tag titles probably at World's End.
Yeah, that would make sense. That one of the next, it's not going to be at Full Gear, but it makes sense that the one after that would be Jurassic Express going for that because they're, and it makes sense. Obviously, they just got a huge win versus the Bucks. They just came back not too long ago, former tag team champions. It makes perfect sense that would be the direction they're going in.
Yeah, I mean, we go from the men's tag team division to the women's tag team division. So we have ourselves an interesting match here. So it's a 4-way tag team match, but the winning team will get to call their shot as who they face in the first round of the title tournament, which I appreciated. So you have Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford going against Sky Blue and Julia Hart of the Triangle of Madness, going against Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, going against Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. And I thought this was a very fun 4-way.
Oh, yeah. A lot of fun. I thought all the teams looked good in this match. I loved all the pairings. I thought Hayter and Aminata looked great as a team. I've always been a big fan on here and just in general of Queen Aminata. I would love to see her more. I'm going to say that all the time until I see her every week. But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. Like I said, I thought everybody looked good at points in this match, all 8 of them, but all 4 teams looked really good. I appreciated the stipulation, but I did think it was kind of like you don't know who the teams are going to be in the tournament, but you get to choose who, you know what I mean? Like, aren't you actually technically then doing that team you choose a favor? Because what if they weren't going to be in the
Well,
tournament?
no, because they announced that the members of the four-way were part of the field. It was just not the full bracket.
All right, I must have
So
missed
that part, it
all right.
wasn't so much like playing
Okay.
spoilers, but I will say I do like the fact that it really played into it being like the four corners setup where you had to tag in and out of other teams because you saw Penelope get a blind tag in. There are certain parts where you just had to kind of go to the opposite corner. But I mean, there was a lot of good spots in here. But I mean, the one that there are two big spots that stood out to me the most. So one was where Megan has both of the Sisters of Sin. It looks like grabbed around the waist. You have Penelope do like a double stunner, and then she hits them with a double German suplex, which looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looked really good.
And then, of course, they also had that dive out where Megan's doing the suicide dive and Penelope does the moonsault to the outside. But I think the finish was brilliant because I didn't know how they were going to set it up. But Aminata does this wicked-ass headbutt.
Yes.
And then immediately into the haterade for the win. I thought
I loved that.
That is a devastating tag team finisher. And that, Jamie Hayter and Aminata pick up the win. Of course, they don't waste any time. They call it the Sisters of Sin because, they've been a thorn in their side. And they're clearly, even though it hasn't been officially accepted yet, they're going to face off inside of Blood and Guts.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be the direction they're going with Blood and Guts on. But yeah, no, I loved the finish like you. I love that headbutt into the haterade. I thought that was awesome. I think that I expect them to make a run in the tournament and go a little deep. These two, I dug it. I dug that finish. I thought it looked badass and brutal. I don't think anybody would get up from that. Thought it was really good. And the Sisters of Sin for them make 100% sense because they've been feuding for a long time, and some form of these will be. That's what we're doing, Blood and Guts. Now, when we talk about it in a little bit, I was going to say, do you think potentially they're setting up more than one Blood and Guts match?
I have that in my notes too. I would venture that it looks like we're probably going to have two.
Yeah.
Which means that Dynamite will probably end up only having two matches on it, but I'm not going to complain.
Give them each an hour. Why not? Yeah, hell yeah. Boom and boom. That's it.
When it's good, it's good. I ain't going to say no. So
100%.
But we do also go backstage with the Young Bucks banging on the door outside of Tony Khan's office because, they're poor.
They are.
And of course, Renee catches up to them trying to get their thoughts and asking just like, where are you guys feeling right now? Like, they're desperate. They we need Tony to let us have another money match. We'll face anybody. We'll team with anybody. And of course, Tony opens the door and he hears that scene. Like, you know what? You want to face anybody? Fine. Then you could fight Jet Speed and the Jurassic Express in a $400,000 tag team match. And they're like, wait, it's going to be 2-on-4. Like, no. It's 4-on-4. And here are your partners as FTR walks out of the office. To which Stokely, pouring insult in the witch. It's like, hey, the holidays are coming up. And it sounds like you guys need this a lot more than we do. As they walk off. And that is made official for this Saturday on Collision. So.
Yeah. That's a big match for Collision. They set up a couple big matches for Collision, but that's a really big match for Collision. That's a good spot. That's a good spot. Should be a lot of fun, obviously. And even the Young Bucks were like, "Hey, look we got a checkered past," And Nick's like, "No, water under the bridge. Like we're all good. Everything's all good. We need this money. No, this is going to be great. That's going to be a great main event on Collision on Saturday. And I'm digging this because it's eventually going to lead to maybe another match between these guys. And I'm all in on it.
Yeah, no, I feel like if anything, I still want the Bucks to lose because of course I do.
Yeah, of course. They've been so good this year. They have been so good since they've been back and doing this. I feel like they're into this more. Like this is the best they've been in a little bit. This whole stretch right now. It feels like this is like vintage, like top of their game. Young Bucks character-wise, in ring, they're just performing at an extremely high level.
Well, I think it's also just because you hit the hard reset with them losing the whole like EVP status at All In. So really things are like, okay, now how do we do this to show where like, no, they have to work their way up the ladder again because they're work rate guys. They've always been work rate guys, but actually getting the character part of it down. So we're like, shit, now we actually have to like really step it up to like try to get something back because who the hell are we without power?
Yep.
So, and I love a good rags to riches story, but I don't want them to be the rags. No, I'm good. We had it. I'm good.
Yeah.
But on to other rich people that I am glad that they are rich. We get the Ultimo Monet celebration with Renee Paquette reading this grandiose, elaborate introduction that I did not have the time to dictate, but just know it was worth it.
Yeah.
And as we see the Monet men and the Belt Boys making their way down the ramp, all 12 titles, as we're awaiting the arrival of the CEO, we're done one better. Because it's not Mercedes Monet, but it is Mini Monet.
Oh, tremendous.
From behind the table in the ring. And she starts cutting a whole Mercedes promo and even talked about I'm a global champion. And you know what? I got everything I said I was going to be. And she even gets Renee to start doing the CEO dance. She's like, no, put your hips into it. Then Mercedes comes out and she's pissed. Mm-hmm. She's like, you're going to make a mockery out of me. She sends the Belt Boys to the back. She sends Renee to go to the back. And it's just her and Harley in the ring. And she's just berating the shit out of Harley Cameron, saying how everybody wants to mock her for everything she's done for this company, for everything she's done for women's wrestling. And then Minnie Monae's like, and then, of course, Mercedes says Harley is so pathetic. A few weeks ago, you were begging me to be your partner, and now you're mocking me? Are you that desperate for attention? This was my moment. My celebration becoming 12 belts, Monet, one of the greatest accomplishments in pro wrestling, and I'm tired of the disrespect. If Harley, you want to laugh at me? You want to laugh at something? You could laugh at this. And she slams Minnie Monet into the cake face first. And as she pulls Harley Cameron out from under the ring, it turns out that under that table, it wasn't just Harley Cameron. It was also the women's world champion, Chris Statlander, who shoved Mercedes into the cake and then threw the table, getting her lick back for Saturday at Wrestle Dream.
Tremendous.
Cinema.
What a great segment. What a tremendously great segment.
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them.
It was so good. Everyone was great in this segment. Renee, Harley, Mercedes, Minnie Monet. So disrespectful to throw Minnie Monet into the cake like that. So disrespectful. And then Mercedes gets the medicine immediately after it. And if you look at the picture of Minnie Monet with the cake on it, with the mouth open, and then you look at the side by side of Mercedes, it's the same picture. It is tremendous. And then she gets thrown through the table, kind of spine buster-ish. And it's just, man. It's
literally the meme from The Office. They're the same picture.
Yeah, it is. It was the best part. It was the best segment on the show. Man, it was so good. It was so good, and I loved it. And earlier in the night with at the end of Stat's talk with Renee, she said, "Oh, and have a great championship celebration later." So you kind of knew she might have something up her sleeve, maybe. And then you kind of see. Obviously it was Harley. I thought that Harley wasn't going to be under the table at all. I thought it was just going to be like a voiceover of Harley, and it was going to be Stat.
See, that's what I was thinking at first.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Because if Harley hasn't come out from the table yet, what the hell? Who's actually under there? So,
but then the way they did it was perfect. It was a really, really great segment.
Yeah. But I mean, I could watch any tandem of Harley Cameron, Mercedes Moné, and Chris Statlander in any sort of segment. It'll be the most entertaining thing you see all night. But yeah. No, great shit. Into another vignette. This time we get Jon Moxley talking about the I Quit match. He's saying, I didn't deliver on what I promised. It was Darby's strength that was the deciding factor. His unwavering strength for self-destruction, though, will also be his downfall. Tomorrow, the sun rises again. We get to the world. I'm committed to being the best at what I do every day. The only competition we have is ourselves, and there's nobody that could do what I can do or what the Death Riders does. No one upholds the standards that we set, and I know exactly who I am. So,
yeah, I mean, another good Moxley promo. Talking like he's okay, but then it goes into kind of the match, and I feel like we can talk about it. But yeah, I feel like Moxley might be having some confidence issues.
Yeah, a little bit of PTSD,
Yeah.
Very interesting the way they had to go about the I Quit match, because I didn't realize that the Missouri Sports Commission was like that rigid.
Oh my God, yeah.
I will say, for what they were still able to accomplish, though, it was still a crazy I Quit match. Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't want to. My thing was, you knew that the show was in St. Louis for a while.
Yeah.
Why would you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought they pulled it off anyway, and I thought the I Quit match was great, the way that they did it. But, like, if you knew it was going to be, there was a lot of stuff that maybe you wanted to do that you wouldn't be able to do because of how much of a pain in the ass these people are, why would you book that type? Why wouldn't you try to do something else?
You know, the only other thing that I could think of is maybe like they realized there were times where they went a bridge too far. Look at Hangman versus Swerve from All Out.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
but it was a different if it was a different style I Quit match for them, and I very much enjoyed it. I thought it went off as really good. So I mean, it wasn't like it hampered anything. But when you hear that how that all that stuff came out about the commission and like they wanted to do certain things, it's like, all right, well.
I mean, you still had attempted arson and waterboarding,
drowning. Yeah, exactly. So
yep. Crash outs on Twitter, but we're not going to talk about that.
No.
No. But we are going to talk about Kyle O'Reilly going one-on-one with Jon Moxley, and what I thought was I love when wrestling just gets like very into the sport of wrestling.
This is my kind of shit. This was my kind of shit. Kyle O'Reilly, a standout, a reminding performance from Kyle O'Reilly that he is still that dude. What a match he had, and Moxley too, but we know what our expectations are of Moxley.
Yeah.
This was what a spot for Kyle O'Reilly from start to finish. He was in there bell for bell, move for move with Moxley. He would have beat Jon Moxley. He should have beat Jon Moxley if Moxley, and he technically did.
Yeah, rare AEW disqualification.
But this one worked for me because he was gonna win regularly. So this was like one of those, like, Kyle O'Reilly was going to win the match. Moxley does what he does, and instead of tapping out, he would rather get DQ'd, so he knocks out the official. So Kyle O'Reilly does get the win that he was going to deserve, but it's in a way where it still makes Moxley not tap out. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a very
It doesn't make him tap out, but it still makes him look like a bitch.
Yes, and it gives Kyle the win that he deserved. Like, it wasn't like, oh, no contest, but Kyle would have won. It was like, no, Kyle still won, No,
but they really were going like hold for hold. I love like some good old fashioned chain wrestling, like the way that they were transitioning in and out of submissions into like big high spots. Like it was good. It was really good. I quite enjoyed this one.
I did too. I love it.
And of course, that you do see the way that Paul Turner, God bless his soul, sold the shit out of that forearm.
Out cold, man. Out cold. That was good stuff.
Yeah, and of course, after the match, you get pandemonium because the Conglomeration and Roderick Strong come out. And, they're trying to get their comeuppance on that. Then the Death Riders come out, and apparently this match was scheduled for later in the show, but fuck it, we'll give it to you right after the break. We got ourselves a trios match with Roddy Strong, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe going against Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders. And again, this was another good match immediately following that great match with even more bedlam that happens after the match. But yeah, no. There's only so many ways I could say it was a good match, but it was a good match.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was chaotic, as you expect. Roderick Strong.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Just
Orange
unbelievable.
Cassidy and Yuta having these like big counter wrestling spots. Like, I love when Orange chooses when he wants to be the serious wrestler and just pulls out like some of the most technical shit you'll ever see. And then later in the match, he's like, nope, hands go back in the pockets. Until Claudio chops him so fucking hard that his hands come out of the pockets.
Yeah, and that spot where Claudio caught him and held him up and turned it into the uppercut, just tremendous. Yep. This was just another one of these matches where they do these so well. The AEW just books them so well, and these guys just go out there and there's just so much action and back and forth and big move here, big move there, and it's just like that for like 5 or 6 straight minutes, and it's just wonderful. It's a thing of beauty. The corkscrew moonsault that Mark hit on all the guys on the outside, which was a great spot. Then he hit that gnarly fisherman buster and almost got Yuta there, but a close 2.9. Really, really good. And then Roderick Strong, I thought. Roderick Strong to me fits in with the Death Riders very well. We talked about it a little bit last week.
We did.
I thought that this was a match where maybe because it was Roderick Strong in the conglomeration, I was like, Kyle's not in this match. He's really only involved with these people for Kyle. I was like, are they?
But he was the catalyst for this match.
Yeah,
so.
it's true. It's true. But Jay Driller markets the win. They're real good, real good.
Yeah. I will say, like, I do like the way they set up the Jay Driller because it looked like Yuta was trying to get all of Danielson's shit in because you saw him hit the Bicycle knee, did the hammer and elbows. It looks like he's going to go for the cattle mutilation. He rolls out of it. Mark Briscoe drills the shit out of him with a lariat and then the Jay Driller for the pin. And then immediately after that, you see Pac come in, take out Mark Briscoe. And then Tomohiro Ishii, evening the odds. And then Mox and Marina come back out. They even the odds again. You get a low blow to Ishii from Shafir. And then Kyle O'Reilly's back in there trying to take out Moxley. And then it looks like the Death Riders are in full control. They're about to send Orange Cassidy through the announce table like they did to Darby Allin on Saturday. But speak of the devil, he comes in, he clips out Claudio Castagnoli's knee. You get an orange punch to Claudio. And then you see the Death Riders start to, back off a little bit.
Yeah.
And that looks to be what will be Blood and Guts number 2.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. The second this happened, I was like, all right, so we're going to do conglomeration and Darby versus Death Riders here. That's what we're going to do. So yeah, it makes sense. They've only really done one Blood and Guts match per show. So this will be the first time that they do 2, which will be cool. Cause obviously I think 2 is the right way to go. You're probably right. It's a Dynamite. I would expect that it's probably a 2-match show with maybe a few promos in between and stuff like that. But I think, that should be the show. You have the dudes start the show and do the first 45 minutes to an hour, get some promos and vignettes in, and have the ladies finish the show, or vice versa. But it'd be nice if the ladies main event.
I would have the women main event, but yeah.
I feel like that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. Assuming that is going to be the Blood and Guts situation on the men's side of things, is that where Roderick Strong is going to eventually join the Death Riders?
I feel like that would be the time. Locked in the cage, nobody else can get in there. Yes, I feel like, I don't know if he would turn. You think he turns on Kyle? Ooh. Or do you think he turns on one of the conglomeration guys or Darby? And then Kyle's like, what the hell, man?
But this is what I want to know is going to happen. If, is it going to be kind of like a Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox thing where, it's before they even make it into the cage and that's where the heel turn happens? Or you wait until they're inside of the cage and then all hell breaks loose?
I feel like if I was booking this one, I would do it when they're all in the cage.
Yeah.
Just have Roderick just hit Orange Cassidy or something or whatever. Whoever it's going to be, Mark Briscoe, whatever. Or if you do it, it's Kyle. But I feel like there's more intrigue in Kyle being like, what?
I feel like it has to be everybody but Kyle.
Yeah, because the only reason Roderick is even there is because he loves Kyle. Yeah. And Roderick's feelings to Kyle has never wavered. It's really doesn't want to be apart with the other guys, the other part.
No, that's fair.
So I feel like he should turn and join the Death Riders, but not really at the expense of Kyle, but at the expense of Kyle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Kyle's affiliation has led me no choice but to try to find myself again, because it feels like as much as he loved being a part of Paragon and everything they did back in the day in other companies, it feels like the moment's been lost and he's clearly moving on. It's time for me to move on too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. And Roderick has that vibe. His ladies in the group. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking of things that also just make sense, you see Alicia too backstage with the cake-covered 12 belts, Alta Monet herself. She's freaking the fuck out. And then before she could really get into anything that's on her mind, conspicuous by her absence over the last few weeks, the forever champion, Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena is backstage. And she, you know what? If you can't beat him, you join him. And she lays out the proposal. Athena and Mercedes Moné joining forces in the World Tag Title Tournament. And I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to win the titles, but damn it, am I going to enjoy seeing whatever the hell they're going to do.
They should be in the final.
They should be in the final.
I feel like they should be in the final. Did not see this one coming. But yeah, no, I'm into it too. Obviously, long-time rivals, long-time kind of, I would say, stick measurers with each other. And for Athena to be like, yeah, we've made history all over the place, you and I. Let's make it together and be women's tag titles champions, and Mercedes to immediately be like, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, Mercedes had been trying to get courted by a few people on the way there, and she said no. And now Athena was the one that she's like, yeah, absolutely, let's go. So unexpected, but yeah, sign me up. This should rule. And then, yeah, this should rule.
So, I mean, we'll get into the brackets in a moment, but before we even get there, we do have the TNT champion, the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher, and Don Callis making their way out to the ring. Fletcher does end up getting that third and final victory over Mark Briscoe at WrestleDream. It might have came off a low blow, but that is neither here nor there. But, he's saying, it doesn't matter. The books might say it's 3-2, but this series is over. I've proven definitively that I have Mark Briscoe's number, and I could beat him again, and I'll beat him a million more times, proving that I'm going to be TNT champion for a very, 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 very long reach for the sky. And Mark Briscoe interrupts that, saying, you're going to learn as you grow up that you don't have to talk so damn much. And, I was just going to leave after finishing my business earlier, but I'll be damned if I let you talk all that bullshit and I didn't retort. But you know what? I just want one more shot. I'm not making excuses and I'm not begging. I might be icing my balls, but I just need one more shot. And then Don Callis, unfortunately, starts talking. And, he's saying, you know what? You sound desperate, Mark, but why wouldn't you be desperate? You got 10 hungry mouths to feed at home. And you know what? It sounds off-putting, that desperation. You know what? Family 10 hungry mouths is a burden, but you know what? Your family should be more like the Don Callis family, where we support each other. We're not leeches. And I'm going to tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And the answer is no.
Okay. So I love Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
Do we need to be running this back?
It's not even that we don't need to be running this back, but where the hell does he go from here?
Yeah. And I get it. Callis said no. I get that. But clearly they're going to, you wouldn't do a segment like this if this wasn't going to be the match. You know what I mean? Or that
it's the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand all over again. You think that there's a sense of finality because it's a rubber match, and then it's like, oh no, it's not a rubber match. It's just a match.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of the only thing for me. That I was just, and again, I'm very pro. I love Mark Briscoe, but I'm also like, Kyle should be on to something new. Like he handled Briscoe, that ended. Let's go somewhere new. But it feels like on the men's side of things, we're just running back the world and TNT title matches. Which, and don't get me wrong, like the ops turning is cool. I like it. But it just feels like it's like, okay, let's just do this again. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not against it, but it's kind of, it doesn't.
It's also just out of AEW to be doing that, because that's some shit that you expect WWE to do, where it's just like rematch city over and over again. But you know what? To each their own. But we do get our official tag team tournament bracket for the women's tournament. So we did see earlier, we have Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. They called out, obviously, Sisters of Sin. You got Sky Blue, you got Julia Hart on one side of the bracket. On their opposite side, you got Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron going 2-on-2 with Mercedes Moné and Athena. Across the other side of the bracket, we got Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne going against TJ. So I'm very interested to see, because honestly, I'm not going to lie, I would have had TJ going all the way. But here's where it gets more interesting, because just on the other side of the bracket, you got Timeless Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Alex Windsor, and Riho. I feel like one of these two teams is going against this team in the finals, or you get the upset and you have this team go to the finals.
Yeah, to me, I mean, and again, AEW can throw a swerve.
Yeah.
To me, if I look at this and I go, this is a no-brainer. It's Mercedes and Athena versus Tony and Mina in the finals. Like that's as close to a guarantee as I feel good about. Now again, I do think Aminata and Hayter. I do think Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford are, and I like the teaming of Windsor and Rio, but they're not in a step. If it's not going to be one of those two teams, Tony and Mina or Mercedes or Athena, to me, I don't need it to be, but it should be an established tag team.
No, I agree.
And Bayne and Ford, TJ, and the Sisters of Sin, to me, are the three established tag teams in this tournament. So if you're not going to give it to Mercedes or Athena or Tony or Mina, I think it should go to one of those three teams.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
No, I'm very interested. And I feel like, especially on the left side of the bracket, if I had a nickel for every tournament that Athena was in and got eliminated in the semifinals, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't saying much, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, I know. But it looks like it's going to be Amanada and Hayda versus Mercedes and Athena, and then you're going to get Tony and Mina versus Megan Bain and Ford. That's what I feel like the semifinals are. And
so I'm thinking it's probably going to be Queen Aminata versus Penelope and Megan then.
I would like that. That would
I feel like that's the final
for me.
I mean, it'd be hard hitting, that's for damn sure. So
yeah, I just feel like that would be 2 major losses in the semifinals if both Athena and Mercedes and Tony and Mina went out in the semifinals. That's 2 giant teams,
So here's the thing, though. I feel like I'd be okay with it for 2 reasons, and they're both involving Mercedes. Mercedes is going to be sidetracked with everything going on with the world title match against Chris Statlander while this is going on. Mm-hmm. Her head's not going to be fully in the tag title tournament. That'll be her Hamarsha there. And then you get into the Ring of Honor side of things, maybe build some for Final Battle, because you have the women's world champion with Athena and the television champion in Mercedes. Mm. Maybe they run it back at Final Battle for Athena's world championship. And that could really decide, you know what? Is Mercedes going to get another belt? Is she going to just hold all the gold in ROH? Or is Athena going to get her lick back and then drive Mercedes further and further down this spiral?
I don't hate that either.
Yeah. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. All I know is I'm just glad that AEW is really doubling down on the women's division this year. It's been so damn long. We've wanted this for so long. We thought they were going to do it back in 2021 when they had the Women's Tag Title Cup. But nonetheless, I'm glad that this will be the official way to start the whole women's tag team division, because I was not a fan of who won that tournament, but that's neither here nor there. But we do get into another backstage promo for Renee Paquette, this time with Mina Shirakawa. And you know what? Renee says, it's no surprise that you're really teaming with your close friend, or maybe more in Timeless Tony Storm. But, Mina's like, I haven't heard from Tony since last week after losing everything at Wrestle Dream. But Tekla comes out and she's like, well, you haven't really lost everything. I mean, you lost your girlfriend, you lost your title, but you know what? I can make sure that you lose everything. And then Mina's like, you know what? We fought in Japan. I want to fight you over here too. And the match is made official. It is Tekla versus Mina Shirakawa for this Saturday in Collision. And Tekla says, if you think Tony's sad now, she's going to cry even harder when she sees what I do to you.
Like this. I like this a lot. I like Tekla. She's a lot better talker than I expected her. She was very quiet early on. They didn't let her talk, but now that they're letting her talk, I like her promo style. I think it
just adds to the aura.
Yes. I very much have enjoyed Tekla. Since I'm seeing her regularly, because I didn't see any of her really since she's been on AEW. She's really good. We know Mina is great. Another big match adding to Collision, which is good. I think people need to start watching Collision more. Collision has been a really good show for a good amount of time now. Yeah. So adding the 8-man earlier and that's 2 big matches on Collision this weekend. Yeah, I'm all in on this. This match should be quite good.
Yeah, and I mean, we really do need to start incentivizing people to watch both shows more often, because it's not even just enough that they're combining part of it for when they do a go-home week, but if you're going to actually make Collision into the true counterpart to Dynamite, you got to load it up sometimes. Mm-hmm. It feels like this is the year where they're really focusing on loading it up a little bit more and more every week. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. And it does lead us into the main event for the AEW Unified Championship under Continental rules. But it is Kazuchika Okada defending against the Ring of Honor World Champion / one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions in Bandito, after Bandito was the one to pin him at Wrestle Dream in that World Tag Title match. And, start first bell at 9:54 aside, commercial break at 9:57 aside. This was a good main event. It was a very good main event.
Yes, it was. And
I have my gripes of how AEW lays out their cards sometimes. I have gripes with the commercials they are in between every fucking half hour, but that is a conversation to be had off this podcast for everybody's sanity. But damn it, this was still worth the wait.
Oh, yeah, this was really, really good. Bandito is... they mention it on commentary regularly now, but a strong argument that he's on the short list, if not the wrestler of the year in 2025. He has been spectacular.
Yeah.
Okada is Okada, one of the all-time greats. This was as good as you would think, as good as advertised. That crowd was fully behind Bandito winning this match.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at the end when it was like, holy crap, is he actually, like, even me sitting here, I was like, is he going to win?
The false finishes we got in this match were fucking mental.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just kept going. And like, I think Okada missed like 3 Rainmakers before he finally hit it. But when he missed the second or third one, I was like,
and then Bandito hits it himself, which was crazy.
Yes.
Then he hits the X knee. Yeah. And then he's going for a second 21 plex because it got kicked out of earlier in the match. The way they set it up, he's just short of the rope. So you see him like land on his feet. He's like, oh shit. And that's where Okada finally hits the Rainmaker for the finish. That was a brilliant finish.
Yes, it was very, very good. And then, yes, Okada finally hits the Rainmaker and it's like, all right, we're going home. And then it was like, man, real good. Really, really good. Just a great main event, a one that I felt like had a lot of buzz coming into it because we expected it to be this level of a match, and they both delivered. And then you get kind of what happens afterwards with the Callis family and where we're going still with that.
Yeah.
So.
I will say when they were setting up that last 21 plex though, I didn't even realize that like, oh wait, did they misjudge the distance? I didn't even think about the fact that was going to be the finish because I thought Bandito might have actually pulled it off. So like the second, like, oh shit, he's on his feet. What the hell are they going to do? And that's where the Rainmaker,
Yeah, I loved it. I saw Okada, they did the move and Okada's going near the ropes. I'm like, oh, and then I saw Okada scoot a little bit away from the ropes and I was like, oh, he's not going to be able to do it. And then once I saw it in rotation, I was like, Rainmaker. And then
I don't think I've ever seen anybody counter the 21 plex like that before. It was such a good finish. And then, of course, you have the rest of the DCF. They come out, they're celebrating. But Konosuke Takeshita, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, makes his way out separately. And he's still staring daggers down at Okada. So, can we please get this?
This is full gear. This is happening at full gear, yeah. 100%.
Now, but the question is, which belt is it for?
I would do winner take all.
I kind of feel like I would save winner take all for Wrestle Kingdom, though.
You could do it that way, too. So if you wanted to do it for just the unified and have Okada beat him, and it's like, damn, Okada beat him. So,
or maybe
you build to the rematch and it's winner take all, and Takeshita wins in Japan in the Dome.
So what I think might happen is you do the unified title at Full Gear, Okada retains. Then you do the IWGP title at World's End, Takeshita retains. And then you do the winner-take-all match at Wrestle Kingdom. Because I don't think they're doing Wrestle Dynasty this year at all. I think it's just going to be just regular Wrestle Kingdom weekend. You mean to tell me that New Japan wouldn't want Okada main eventing in the Dome?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It was something that probably the people over there thought was never going to happen again. You can have an IWG winner-take-all. AEW gets the rub of their unified championship being in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Going up against the IWGP heavyweight champion, and then you have Takeshita be crowned basically the 1A world champion in AEW while retaining the main belt and New Japan. It just makes all the sense. And
which further solidifies that the unified title is the 1A world championship. So
yes, and it's against Okada, who a lot of people have compared Takeshita to being like the next Okada, and New Japan. It writes itself.
But also just dawned on me that for the whole match to happen at World's End, we still have a little ditty called the C2. So maybe you do the IWGP at Full Gear, and then you do the winner. The C2 finals is going to be Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah. And then maybe that's when they go, hey, we're not going to do this at World's End. A couple days after that, we're going to do this at in the Tokyo. Like, that's where we're going to do this, is the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. And another loophole could be because if they're going for the IWGP title, they don't have to use Continental rules. So now you're really seeing where the DCF's loyalty lies. And then when they get into the C2 finals, that will just be the straight up like regular singles match. No interference. And then nobody else is going to go to New Japan for Wrestle Kingdom out of the DCF. Unless maybe they do like something odd with Kyle Fletcher, but I doubt that's going to happen. But no. I think that's going to be how you set up the trilogy with Takeshita and Okada. And I will eat it up.
100%. 100%. I really like it. We've been waiting for this one-on-one. I think Full Gear is the time that we're getting at least the first one. Great main event, great little tease to end the show. I've needed it for well over a month now. I will gladly wait another 3 weeks, but damn it, you better be giving me this at Full Gear. You better
no,
be
if
giving me this
we don't
at
get
Full
this
Gear.
match at Full Gear, we're gonna riot. So
Yes.
just be warned.
Yes.
But until next week, I mean, there's so much going on in our worlds these days. JPJ, what do you got going on in your world?
Got a lot going on in the world. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Love Wrestling, Pluggo and I will be getting back after it with another episode of Between Two Beards. We got DC Hendricks, our pal DC, hopping on. He did a little bit of media for BODYSLAM this past weekend at Wrestle Dream, so he is hopping on. We are going to be talking about his experience and obviously breaking down Wrestle Dream. And he's a big baseball guy like I am, probably a little World Series talk as well, as that starts on Friday. But yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit of everything with DC. You can catch me over on the Hive Media doing the Swarm 2 times a week, and I do a little video game series called the Hive U over there. And then on Monday nights, I do the Raw watch along with our pal Josh Robinson over there as well. Then you can follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming. I play some games on Twitch, and you can kind of catch where I'm at everywhere else. And then obviously Wednesday nights, I'm here with your beautiful face, and we do this every week and have a good time. So,
Gosh. I mean, you missed the most important part about Beards tomorrow. Pluggo had a match.
Well, yes, Pluggo did have his in-ring debut.
A sanctioned match.
A sanctioned match he did have, which we will obviously be discussing at length, kind of how that all happened and what happened. I have not seen the footage yet.
I have.
But all right, good. All right. I have not seen it yet. So, looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, no. And then as far as me goes, I mean, every Wednesday you're going to find me here with the majestic bearded one to my right. I mean, how could you not want to be a part of this every week, folks? I mean, BODYSLAM Net on all the socials, on YouTube, on wherever you choose to engage with us. Go to maybe patreon.com and go to BODYSLAM PWN, $5, get all the scoops. Corey Hayes keeping you well fed all month long with wrestling scoops. Gosh. I mean, and as far as other stuff I have going on, I mean, I've been back on my Twitch bullshit. So Jose in the Air there, Jose in the Air on all the social medias. I am just under 100 away from 1,000 on Twitter. So if y'all want to push that back, I might be able to unblur my background and announce what's coming in November. But until then, make sure you guys are engaging wherever you choose to engage. And we will see you guys next week for another jam-packed episode of DynaMic'd Up. So thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you!